Hey guys, it's Gina here. I've been chasing my sunset this week. At least we have some sun. I'm sitting outside enjoying the day, about to head to a family event. It is Memorial Day weekend, and so I thought I would talk about family events and how they can really stress some people out, and whether it's food or whether it's just mental stuff or whatever. So, you know, as we've talked before, you know, I follow a whole food, plant-based, no oil, no salt, no sugar diet. And there's a whole bunch of people that just don't understand that. You know, I've mentioned before how food is so polarized. I mean, the thought that somebody might not have food freaks some people out to the point where they just get really stressed out about it. So if they feel threatened about their food, then they can just like literally attack. And you're just like, dude, I wasn't even saying anything. Chill out. And so around family events, food can be really, really stressful for some people. Now, if you're following a special type of diet, like a whole food plant-based diet like this, maybe you're doing it for weight loss. Maybe you're doing it for just health and vitality. And so, like I told you, I was doing it more because I am allergic to animal protein, so I follow whole food plant-based anyway. I added the no oil, no salt, no sugar for the health and vitality aspect of it, and I feel amazing. And one of the side effects has been weight loss. So it's like, woohoo! But the thing is that people don't get it. And whereas I did start this channel as a way to kind of, ooh, that sun got bright. I love the sun though, it's fun. I started this channel as a way to really kind of help educate people and also to help normalize it, because it's food. You know, it's not about anything else. If you're hungry, you eat. If you're not hungry, you don't eat. That's how you should be, whatever diet you're following anyway. It shouldn't just be mindless eating. So I want to just kind of talk about family events. So like today, we're going to show up just a little bit later because they are having lunch, and my husband's already gone, and he's partaking in all the meat and cheeses and dairies and everything else that they've got going on there, and that's fine. But I'm going to have lunch first, and then I'm going to be following him probably, you know, about 30 minutes afterwards. So it's not like I'm really missing out on anything, but that way I'm already full. I don't have to worry about food. Now, another option is I could just make something and take it with me. But what I find is that when I do that, I need to make 2 or 3 things and take it with me, because guess what? People tend to really like the food, and they're thinking, oh, I'm not going to like that. That's just weird. I'm not going to eat that. And then they're like, ooh, this is good. I like this. And so then what I took for me to eat ends up going to everybody else, and I still get hungry. So, and it's not that I'm trying to be stingy today or anything else. I just didn't have the time to, you know, create 3 or 4 different dishes to take them with me. And so I'm just eating real quick before we go, and then, you know, enjoy the day. So those are a couple of options you have when you're dealing with food, because you're sitting there, and even if you don't take something, you're thinking, well, this time I'll just try to pick the best choice of whatever's laid out in the potluck thing and make my highest choice, and just realize that tomorrow's another day and I'm not derailing anything. If I'm on a weight loss journey or something, maybe I have a little too much of this or too much of that, but tomorrow I start back and stick with the rules that I have made for myself. Whatever your thought process is, that's great. But then as soon as you only take a bite of this, or you avoid this dessert and you choose the strawberries instead, or you do this, then the well-meaning family member, and sometimes they're not so well-meaning, sometimes they're actually trying to derail you and be mean. I mean, we all have those kind of people around us, whether they're family, co-workers, strangers in the grocery store. They think their way is the only way to do it, and therefore everything else is wrong. But so then what happens is it puts you on this defensive, and you're like, I'm eating a strawberry. It's my choice. Because if they had chosen the strawberry, and you know what's really funny is they're probably the ones that brought the strawberries. But if they had chosen the strawberry, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But because you're not choosing something else, then it's a big deal to them. But this is what I want you to hear from that. It's a big deal to them, not you. It's a big deal to them. Let it be a big deal to them. Don't worry about it. And I know that's easier said than done, because I have lived this throughout my time with going to family events, especially when I was first learning about my allergy and first learning how to eat this way. And then I was raw foods, and then I was, trying to fit it in a little bit more and eat more processed foods. And then I was feeling bad from it, and that's the thing. I realized that I was trying to eat the processed foods to fit in. I don't want to fit in. I want to be me. I want to be me. So I don't really care if I fit in. And if somebody around me doesn't like how I eat, and I'm not holding them down, forcing the food down them, it really is their problem, not mine. And, and ironically, it's amazing how our family members can treat us this way more than a complete stranger. I meet strangers in the store all the time when I'm picking out produce, and they're like, how do you know that that's a good eggplant? What are you looking for? Because they're looking at me, looking at it and everything. And I'll show them. I'll tell them what you're looking for in a good eggplant. I will, and they're so nice. And they're like, well, I'm trying to be more healthy. I'm trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, great, that's amazing for you. But maybe they're not going all the way whole food plant-based. That's still fine. Eating better of anything is still eating better. So it's not an all or nothing thing. And that's what I want everyone to understand as you're chasing your sunset. What you're doing is you're creating the life you want. And I'm not saying treat everyone else bad about it. I'm not saying that. But don't let them put their insecurities onto you. If you want to eat strawberries for dessert instead of the cake that's got all this flour and sugar and creams and everything else in it that is going to make you feel icky and lethargic and, just not your highest self, you're going to need a nap afterwards, then eat the strawberries. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. And if it is a big deal to them, then you have a couple of options. You can just let it go, or in a private setting, you can ask them why it's a big deal to them. Maybe they feel like you're trying to force something on to them, or maybe they're feeling guilty because they're trying to lose weight too, but they don't have the willpower to do so. Guess what? Nobody has the willpower to do so. That's why I talk about the 80% versus 100%. If you make the decision, this is what you're going to do, you take willpower out of it. It's then just about you and what you've decided to do. So willpower is only going to take you so far. And then it's going to exhaust you. And then you're going to have decision fatigue. And then you're not going to be happy about this. And so don't let that be the case. Sometimes it's just their insecurities, or they feel like you're trying to change them. Most of the time when I tell people that I follow a plant-based diet, the first thing out of their mouth is like, oh, well, I don't eat that much meat either. Okay. And then they start going into how they're justifying what meat that they do eat, and how they are thinking that, I'm judging them. And I just say, look, it's fine. I don't eat meat, and that's my choice based on my health issues and things that I'm trying to get for myself. But if you eat meat, it's okay. We can still be friends. We can still hang out. I'm just not going to try to pick things off of your plate, which is probably a good thing. But more than likely, you're going to try to pick things off of my plate because they look great and they taste yummy and you're going to like them. And so if you ever eat a green bean, I guarantee you, make friends with a vegan because they know how to make green beans taste really good. So, I mean, don't worry about their insecurities. And sometimes just having a conversation with them, maybe they're just like, they're struggling because their weight has just been, out of control. They can't get a hang on it. They have no willpower. They're tired. They're lethargic. Their vitality's gone. Their energy's gone. They are grumpy because of it. And that's, I feel bad for them. I do. But I can't fix that. I can't fix that. All I can do is suggest that maybe they decide what they truly want. Because again, we talk about decide what you want. If you want this, then you have to understand that this has certain consequences. And if you want that, it's got certain consequences. And that means you have to do certain things to get this. You have to do certain things to get that. And not other things to get this or that, depending on what you're wanting. You know, for example, if I wanted long hair, which, you know, I have long hair, but if I wanted long hair, cutting it off every 6 months is not going to get me there. But then I have to decide, well, do I want to cut it off or do I want to go ahead and get it long? You know, it's kind of the same thing. If you want to be energized when you wake up, then you have to decide that you need to go to bed and get a good night's sleep. And if you can't do that, then you've got to decide what's stopping you from doing that. And then you've got to make those changes. And then you have to decide what you want more. Maybe, you know, it is something that, like, it's taking care of your infant. Okay, you want your infant more than you want a good night's sleep. I know you say you want the good night's sleep, and I've been there, I get that. But that's just a phase. So once that phase ends and they grow into it a little bit more, you will get the good night's sleep. So sometimes you do have to make a sacrifice. You do have to kind of make a compromise. But sometimes it's just, well, I wanted to read this book. Okay, well, you can't stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning reading a book. I don't care how good the book is, and yes, I've done that, and expect to get a good night's sleep if you've got to get up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So you have to decide, do I really want to read the book or do I really want a good night's sleep? I mean, these are things like that you can make the decision. Well, it carries over into your food and your lifestyle as well. So when your family does do some kind of a snarky comment at an event, you know, either bring food with you. And like I said, I would normally, but I've just been so busy. I'm trying, you know, with school and everything. I was up late. I got hardly any sleep. That was my choice. My daughter wakes me up this morning because we are, you know, full-fledged potty trained with just a few little minor incidences here and there. But the first thing she screams is, "Mama, I got a tinkle." And so, boing, I'm out of bed because I don't want her to, she's still trying to learn to control everything, and I don't want her to feel bad about herself because she had an accident. Not that I would ever make my daughter feel bad because she had an accident, but it's something, it's ingrained in us when we have a goal and then we don't meet the goal, it goes, oh, we didn't do that, and so I'm trying to empower her, I'm trying to grow her. And so that means not laying there for 3 more minutes going, oh, okay, I'll be right there, you know, and stretching or whatever. It's boing, out of bed and to the potty chair. Perfect timing. She was able to maintain, you know, her goal, and she was all happy because of it, because she's such a big girl and she likes that. And so it's the same kind of thing, but in adults, sometimes we forget that sometimes they act like 3-year-olds. And so just take your own food and take enough to share. Bring a wonderful dessert that's fruit-based, and if you're trying to avoid sugar, you know, explain to them that, oh yeah, I just didn't use oil, because you can saute an onion in just some water as long as you use a medium heat. You can't go on high. But most of your really good pans, if you ever read the instructions, it says never take them above medium heat anyway, so probably didn't know that. But so yeah, you can saute an onion without using any oil, so you just drop 200 calories from this dish that you didn't even need the oil, because it wasn't going to do anything but keep the onion from sticking. The onion will not stick with a little bit of water or vegetable broth on a medium heat in a skillet. And I'm talking, I use a stainless steel skillet, not a non-stick skillet, and it does not stick. Okay, so, and it gets caramelized and they look beautiful because I do it all the time. So, but they don't know these things, and so take your food to share with them. Now, if it is something else that's more of a, possibly there's just tension in family and has nothing food related, because we still have that with some of these events that we go to, you know, that is a whole different story, and you're dealing with the stress issue. And I would recommend thinking of it in a balance wheel, and you know, I can link to my balance wheel video that we talk about it, but you can actually create a balance wheel that is like, okay, I want to go because of time with family. I want to see how people are, you know, growing here and how they've advanced here, and see my nieces and nephews, or cousins or grandparents or sisters or brothers or, you know, next door neighbors, dogs, cats, friends that, you know, went to Yale or, you know, I don't know. We all have blended families anymore, so, you know, there's always drama and there's always opinions and there's always a little bit of stress with that. So create a balance wheel and figure out kind of like how you want the day to go, and then figure out, like, put a little section of what the problem is. Like maybe it's you know, your cousin Gertrude, and she is just, you know, one of those people you can't get along with at all. So come up with kind of a plan, like maybe pre-think of some phrases that you can just talk to her about that are very neutral and not polarized. Maybe just kind of, you know, be polite, but then stay over here with these people. Or maybe just plan on being there for a smaller amount of time. Instead of 5 hours, be there for 2 hours or something like that. You know, the stress with family is you just have to kind of take it as it goes. Try to be, you know, go with food on your stomach so you're not hungry and, you know, hangry or cranky in that sense. You know, listen to some music on your way there that makes you happy. You know, get a good night's sleep the night before so your brain is not stressed out as it is. And then just try to be in the Zen moment and just think, okay, this is temporary and my cousin Gertrude is just driving me crazy, but in an hour I'm leaving and I don't have to see her again for another year. And, you know, so sometimes that's just what we have to do to get through these family events. But the summer's coming up. With COVID last year, everyone is doing events now, you know, and it's going to be even more so than probably it would have been last year if they just stayed on track and we didn't have COVID at all. So just know that most of the time when people are snarky, there's an underlying condition. And it's not about you, it's about them. And let them have their opinions. They are allowed to have their opinions. But you're also allowed to have your opinions, and it is your life. And as long as your life is not hurting anybody else's, there's really nothing anybody can say about it. Now, if my lifestyle was impeding my husband's growth or impeding my daughter's growth or anything like that, obviously that's a problem, but that's not what this is. Nobody cares if I'm eating green beans and cauliflower. It's fine. And so it's just, you know, go and chase your sunset. Decide what you want, stick to it. You know, understand that nothing is perfect. You're gonna go like this sometimes, and that's okay. And just be okay with it. Just don't try to rely on willpower. Try to rely on your emotional intelligence by getting rest, planning some food to take with you, or eating ahead of time, or, you know, just, you know, getting your mindset ready for it. But you've got this. So go out, have some fun with your family this weekend, enjoy some good food, make some good food, and go chase that sunset. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, fabulous day. I'm so happy that it's sunny out here myself, so I'm actually looking forward to just getting some fresh air and some sun for a change, because I'm so tired of the rain. I feel like it's not Texas, I feel like it's Seattle, and nothing against Seattle. I've been there, it's beautiful. I just can't do that much rain. So I'm glad that we're getting our Texas sun again. So have a fabulous day. If you like this video, hit the little like button, hit the little bell for notifications, and subscribe. Share this video with somebody who may be going through a stressful time, maybe trying to change some health habits, maybe just trying to just make their life better and they don't even know where to start. So have a great, fabulous weekend, and I'll catch you next week. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye.